Hello and welcome to the program. This week on Busting the Narrative, a little something different. Because when you don't know whether to laugh or cry, the best thing to do, in my book, is laugh. I mean, to borrow from Oscar Wilde, it would take a heart of stone not to collapse in gales of laughter at some of the entitled, historically illiterate, politically bizarre nonsense being sprouted at pro-Palestine campus protests across America. Check this out. And you know what? I'm going to play the whole thing as we go busting the narrative. Right, take it away.
Why should the university be obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
But you mentioned that there was a request that food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation or get severely ill, even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow basic, I mean, it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
But they did put themselves in that very deliberately, in that situation and in that position. So it seems like you're sort of saying, we want to be revolutionaries, we want to take over this building. Now would you please bring us food and water?
Nobody's asking them to bring anything. We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian aid.
They're stopping the delivery of food?
We are looking for a commitment from them that they will not stop it violently.
But they haven't stopped it yet.
I don't know to what extent it has been attempted, but we're looking for a commitment.
Okay, let's get this straight here. Student protesters have occupied a building at Colombia University, Hamilton Hall, illegally trespassing and apparently trashing the joint. And they're the victims? They need food sent to them as humanitarian aid? Oh, the victimology. Call Uber Eats, guys. But wait, there's more. It turns that press conference jihadist is a woman named, and I'm not making this up, Johanna King Slutsky. And according to her official Columbia biography, she is working on a PhD about, get this, the prehistory of metabolic rift, Marx's term for the disruption of energy circuits caused by industrialization under capitalism. And she adds she is particularly interested in theories of the imagination and poetry as interpreted through a Marxian lens in order to update and propose an alternative to historicist ideological critiques of the romantic imagination. Gee, I hope she's got a lot of student debt there for Joe Biden to forgive. But as hilarious as all this is, the great narrative that needs busting is why this cause? Why now? And why does every American election cycle wind up seeing American streets and now campuses rocked by mostly peaceful protests that seem to be, well, surprisingly well orchestrated? I'm not the only one asking the question. Even New York Democrat Mayor Eric Adams has noticed this.
Why is everybody's tent the same? Was there a fire sale on those tents? There's some organizing going on. There's a well-concerted organizing effort. And what's the goal of that organizing? That's what we need to be asking ourselves.
Questions are being asked about a bunch of shadowy billionaires in a network called Arabella Associates that controlled more than $2.4 billion in dark money during the 2020 election cycle alone, and apparently is up to their old tricks again. Among the big donors, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and eBay billionaire Pierre Omidyar.
But there are many other Democrat-led dark money groups that funnel money outside the IRS reporting structure that pay for talking points, posters, recruiting, activists who go campus to campus to organize these protests. But even universities bankroll anti-Israel groups through the student activity fee. Who are they? What do they want? And where is their money coming from? These protest groups go by different names. The largest, Students for Justice in Palestine, receives funds, among others, from a liberal New York foundation called Westpac, as well as activity fees charged to each student by their university, according to the watchdog group NGO Monitor. Yet none of these universities would tell us how much student money is given to pro-Palestinian groups.
Soros, Zuckerberg, Rockefellers. Sounds like a conspiracy, but the payments are there to prove it. And the irony is these people talk all the time about threats to democracy. I don't know, guys. Maybe you should look in the mirror. Thanks for watching. I am James Morrow, and to support this channel, please like, share, and subscribe below. And I'll see you next time for more Busting the Narrative. Bye-bye.